Whiskey 8, Romeo, Bravo, Victor, Ray, Ohio.
Name is Ray, is that a Roger?
Name is Ray, is that a Roger? That's a Roger. You got me. W8RBV, running a 7300 into a new wire that I just put up. Seems to be working pretty good. Wonder if I could just switch over to a vertical for you?
You could, but rather than do that, I would maybe want to work on your radio for just a minute if you'd like.
Radio for just a minute if you'd like. That's Roger, go ahead. I just kicked the power up to 100 watts. I was at 50 there to start.
Yes, sir. Okay, our setup procedure starts with engaging your compressor at a 3. A compressor on and at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what we need it to do, Roger.
Okay, what we need it to do, Roger. Okay, well, let me see if I can figure it out. The radio is sort of new to me. I have set it up a little bit from some friends, but I'll have to see what I'm doing here. I'll go into setup and see if I can find the compressor.
I'll tell you what, Ray, let me just give you some notes, and you can take notes and then do it at your leisure, Roger?
And then do it at your leisure, Roger? Roger, well, I found the right thing here. All I had to do is push a button. I've got my compressor. Compressor is on at about a 4.
And now we want a 3. Compressor on at a 3, sir.
Compressor on at a 3, sir. Okay, compressor's on at 3.
Yes, sir. And now move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your ALC reading for mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control manipulation.
Okay, I'm in the mic gain control. I'm running about 64%.
Roger. Now, I'm not talking about mic gain as such. I'm talking about your ALC. Your mic gain affects your ALC. It doesn't matter what your mic gain says it is. It's only how the mic gain affects your ALC, Roger?
Affects your ALC, Roger? Roger, understand. Just not sure where to go to get that control.
Alrighty. What's your mic reading right now? Your actual mic reading?
No, your actual mic reading. The mic reading is actually 64%.
All right, bring that to 50, bring it to 50, and let me hear you there. That's
Roger. We're at 50% now. How do you sound? Analyze round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, just out of curiosity, take her down to 45. Take her down to 45, and let me hear you there, Roger.
Roger that. We're at 45 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alrighty. Let's. Do you know where your equalization page is for that radio?
No, sir, I don't.
All right. Well, when you get there, I want you to make some modifications to your equalizer. It's 7300 two-band EQ, so it's real simple. I want you to roll off 1 click bottom end, roll off 1 click bottom end bass, and increase your treble by 2 clicks. Treble boost 2 clicks, bass roll 1 click.
Roll 1 click. Okay, I'm going to have to pass on that. I think I know where it's at. Sort of looking for it right now, but I don't want to spend a lot of time when somebody else has some issues.
Yeah, Roger. Well, let's note to self. Roll off 1 click on the bottom end, push 2 clicks on the top end, all from the reading that you presently have. Roger?
Roger that.
And I think that'll do real well. Now, what mic were you using there?
The microphone's an IC SM30.
Okay, how close are you working that mic? You should be about 3 inches away. If you get closer than that, you start to have possible mic disturbances that you would need a windscreen. I would suggest working that mic about 3 to 4 inches away. Roger?
3 to 4 inches away. Roger? Roger that. I'm at about 3-4 inches right now. That's about where I have been.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. I heard a couple of transients, but if you get a chance, it's no big thing, but if you get a chance, go to your local music store and get yourself a foam windscreen that would just fit over the top of that, Roger.
Just fit over the top of that, Roger. Roger that. I understand.
And if you would now, give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system, and let me evaluate your overall sound.
Evaluate your overall sound. Okay, well, I'm on an Alpha DXCC antenna. Just put it up about a week ago. A friend here gave it. I do have a Jetstream Vertical 680, and I think this wire is doing a little bit better because I've had pretty good contacts today where I was not being heard before. Roger?
Roger, I just moved you over to my local antenna, my local receiver. I would leave that bottom end. Let me give you a correction to your EQ pattern. I would leave your bottom end flat where it is. I would boost your treble one more. So it would be 3 clicks boost treble EQ and leave the bottom end flat. Roger?
Roger that. I've made a note of that.
Yeah, I don't mean leave the bottom flat. I mean leave the bottom where it is, wherever that might be. And just all you need to do is work on the top end, push 3 clicks boost treble EQ.
Roger, we'll be changing that. Could I go over to the vertical antenna now and see if it's even working?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've got you set for 0 level on peaks. We shall see where it goes.
Holy cow.
Stand by. Was that him?
Yeah, just barely.
Ray, this is KC9VKV. If you're in there, buddy, I think you're talking into a dummy load.
It's been all along that I'm not getting out to people to come back to me.
I'm sorry, we doubled there. Did you were transmitting in your other antenna for a while?
Yes, sir. That's Roger. I had it on a little bit. I heard you on it, but you were way down. So the vertical isn't doing the job I hoped it would. Doing the job I hoped it would do, and the wire seems to do what I need to do, and now I understand. Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
Hey, Jim, it's Floyd, KJ4REZ. Hey, usually verticals are better for DX. If you're going to talk around, the lower 4 or whatnot, a wire is going to do much better for you, depending on the band conditions, of course. KJ4REZ.
Roger that information, and I've been able to get into California and up in Canada and Texas, Florida with it, and even in the islands in Canada with the vertical, but I sure haven't been able to get in some of these Qsos where there's a lot of people, so I think the wire's doing a better job.
Yeah, Ray, I was just trying to copy you there. I do have a vertical antenna, so if you wanted to try that vertical one more time, I will switch over to my vertical just out of curiosity to see if that makes a difference. Roger, Roger?
Roger that. I'm flipping over to the vertical.
He's talking to you, Jim.
Yeah, Ray, I do not copy you on my vertical. I don't copy you on anything. That vertical is, I don't think it's getting out, buddy.
Roger that. That's what I'm sort of finding out. I might even want to go and make sure I've got it connected up after I put my wire up. Haven't really used it other than to receive, but you could throw a wire out the window and receive somewhat, but transmission hasn't been good. So maybe that's my problem, and you're the second person to give me similar information. So I'm going to have to look into that vertical, and I'll stay on the wire. W8RBV, back to you.
Roger, Roger. You should, well, if you don't have it hooked up, your SWR is going to be astronomical. So I would look at that vertical with a SWR bridge and see what you got there, Roger.
SWR bridge and see what you got there, Roger. Roger that. Yeah, it's got a, when I set the vertical in the tuner on this radio, 7300, it comes right down, and so I would indicate that would be an indication that it's hooked up, but maybe going back and forth between two antennas, where I just set this one up a little bit ago, would that create my problem?
No, but I'll tell you, if you have your antennas on a rotary selector, if your vertical antenna is properly tuned, the white noise will be even more hotter than any of your other antennas, pretty much. Particularly your horizontal antennas. A vertical radiator will be usually much noisier in residual band noise than a horizontal dipole, say.
Roger. Well, when I put the wire on, I had about an S9 of noise, and I ended up going in and changing my preamp down. In fact, I turned it off on the wire. It isn't even on right now. And when I go to my vertical, I usually set it, depending on the band naturally, on a 1 or a 2, and it's much quieter, and my wire is quiet when the preamp is turned off.
Roger, Roger. Bottom line is, how does signals sound? You know, a good antenna for the duration is the one that usually the one that you're getting the hottest receive off of, and by and large, except now in loop antennas, because loop antennas are directional, and you could be on the cusp of one signal and another loop, or maybe on the not that sharing that directionality, or even horizontal dipole antennas have directional aspects that a loop might be looking at another angle of the dangle, so to speak. Roger.
Another angle of the dangle, so to speak. Roger. Roger. One question here. The Jetstream antenna 680 is a radialess antenna. They don't recommend it, putting radials out in particular, and I haven't had any problem with that. Does your experience suggest that maybe that could be an issue?
Well, it would show up usually as SWR. You know, if an antenna is designed for radios and you run it without, then it's going to show up as SWR in transmit, Roger. And you don't have to, have 1,000 billion watts to look at your SWR bridge, Roger.
Roger that. Usually I have the manual on the 7300 suggests 45 watts to set up your SWR and then go on to full power. I've actually gotten good results at 50 watts with this radio after I put it on the wire. So you've answered quite a few questions for me here by what we're doing.
Roger, Roger. Well, that's 7300. You should go ahead and run that full tilt. I did have a 7300 for a while to evaluate, and I always ran it full tilt. It's what it's designed to do, and so that's the way I ran it, and it just works perfectly. Unless, of course, you're running it into another amp or something that you want a specific power output, then you would run it maybe at a lower wattage.
Roger that. Well, the maximum wattage on the vertical antenna is only 250 watts. And of course, on the wire I'm using, it's up to 1,000. But right now we're running barefooted. And let me also preface this here. I was out of radios for about 35 years here in the past, and I've only been on the radio again for about the last year experiences, and I do appreciate all your help. And I don't know that I've got your name. I don't know your name. I got let's see. Oh no, I got you. Oh no, I got him. calls K9 Victor Roger Victor. So I think we're good. Can you confirm on QRZ?
Yeah, call sign is KC9VKV, Kilo, Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. Name is Jim, Juliet, India Mike. Roger?
Name is Jim, Juliet, India Mike. Roger?
Roger, and I think I got you pulled up here. I've backed off a little bit. I got my computer on. No, I don't have you pulled up here, so I'll have to do that. Okay, sir, I won't hold you. You've given me a lot of help here and some information I've been seeking and wondering about, and you have a blessed day, and hope to hit you further down the line. W8RBV will be clear, 73.
Roger, Roger, Ray, 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance after you crank in those notes, join us next Friday and I'll give a listen. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. We have about 14 minutes before 5. At 5, we turn into a pumpkin. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.